In this lesson, I'm going to demonstrate an important concept and a new method called the get method in Java. So we can use Java to inspect the methods of classes and invoke them at one time. And this can be used to detect what getters, for example, are given to a class or the class has. So first, a simple rule regarding the getter. The getter method have its name start with get, and it takes 0 parameters and simply returns a value. So let's take a look at what the getter method does and how it returns a value. In addition, I'm also going to demonstrate the difference between the print versus the print in method. So let's jump right in. Let's open up our Java Eclipse editor. So once we're in the Eclipse editor, let me go ahead and simply create a new class. Right click on Java Introduction, choose New, and then click on Class. I'm going to give this a name. I'm going to call it Getter, and then click Finish. And this opens up our getter.java, and by default it's the public class called getter. What we'll do here is I'm going to get rid of this for now. I'm going to create a class, and then later on we'll create the public class. So let's get rid of this, and let's start with our class called person. Okay, so a simple class. Open up our curly braces. I'm going to give a string name, semicolon, and then int age. So just working with the name of the person and the age, and probably we'll take a look at when the person retires and so on. So as I build the logic, I'll explain, it'll make sense. So we have age and then semicolon, and then I'm going to set some property here for the void and the speak method. Open our curly braces, and then I'm going to go ahead and print out a simple statement. So system.out.print, and then choose and say my name is, and then our variable called name. So here I'm just doing a simple printout statement that will say my name is, and then whatever the name of the person is. I'm going to close the curly braces. Next, I'm going to tell Java to calculate. So I'm going to use int calculate years to retirement, and that's a method. Open our curly braces, and then specify the years left. So I'm going to say years left till retirement is, or the retirement age is 65 minus our age, semicolon. And next I'm going to have Java do the return this value, right? So I'm going to have Java return the years left, semicolon, close my curly braces. And next I'm going to tell Java to get the age also. So it'll be int get age method, use our curly braces one more time, and then return the value for age as well. So just simple return age will do, and we close our curly braces. And next I'm going to use the string, different line, and I'm going to tell Java to get name, open our curly braces, and then finally return the value for name again. Great. So a simple code where we specified a couple of variables, and then we told Java to print. Now in this instance, notice I only use the print. So notice at this point, all we're doing here is just providing the input. A couple of variables, and then we're specifying my name. We did not specify a name or the age, and we told Java to do some calculations such as calculate years to retirement, and then return the value, and then return the age as well. Next, we need to create a public class. So I'm going to go ahead, enter some lines, and here specify the public class called getter, open our curly braces, and then set some properties. So public, static, void, main, and then our string array goes in here with our command line argument. Open our curly braces, and next I'm going to set this up. So I'm going to say person1, for instance, equals new person. Of course, I need the semicolon at the end. And next, the person1 dot name equals, let's say, John, and then the age also, right? So we need both the name as well as the age. So person dot age equals 30, semicolon. And of course, I need this to say person1 Otherwise, Java is not going to recognize this. So next, we put a comment here. This person is going to, so person 1 is going to speak, right? So we use the speak method here. So int years would now equal, just putting my formula here, simple. It's going to say person 1 and calculate years to retirement, put a semicolon, and then finally do the printout. So I'm going to say system.out.print, and this print is going to say years till retirement, and of course plus the variable. Great. Semicolon. Perfect. And let me make sure we have the correct spelling here. So for retirement, let me scroll up, make sure we have, yes, they're correct. So good. All right, so once we printed this out, we also need to do the printout for, let's say, the name and the age as well. But before we actually do the print, we need to get the age and the name of the person. So right after the years till retirement, let me go ahead and specify the int age equals person 1.get method, and first it's going to fetch the age, and then next would be my string name, and this would equal person 1, and then it's going to get the name. Great. Put a semicolon, and finally we do the system.out.print, and now when we say name is, and then use our variable called name, this goes in the parentheses, and let me get rid of this one. Perfect. So finally I'm going to do the system.out.print, and I'm going to say age is, and then plus the age. Great. So we use the get method to get the name and the age when we created this public class. So before, we just created the values and nothing really happened, because all we're doing is specifying the actual variables and the properties. But when we create a public class, here we're defining and telling Java to use the get method to get that piece of information and return the value. So for instance, if I were to run this, save and launch dialog box appears, click OK, and notice it says years till retirement is 35, because Java calculates that. And the way it gets the 35 is simply taking the 30 from the person 1 age, and then if I scroll up, we specify the retirement age to be 65. So 65 minus 30 is 35, and that's how Java got the result. So years till retirement is 35, and the name is John, and the age is 30, which is down below here. Here's the name, and here's the age. Now notice everything prints in one line. Or we could always use the sysoutprint and specify the \n for a new line every single time when we want to print. There's an easier way in Java we can do this. We can use the printin method as opposed to just saying print. So for instance, let me go ahead and change the print. Wherever it says print, I'm simply going to use the printin. So change the printin here, scroll down, navigate to the next print, just simply add the in a couple of more times, and once that's done, notice Java says, all right, I'm going to change to print or change to printin. So I'm going to change to printin just to make sure that Java recognizes this, and it changes all the lines where it says system out print to printin. Now once again, all this does, it creates, let's say, a new line, right? So it terminates the print command and creates a new line when it does the printout. So let me in fact demonstrate. So let's click on run, click OK to run this code, and at this time notice it says years till retirement 35, name is John, and age is 30. So here's the difference between using the print or the printin. So for the most part, of course, we'll use the printin if you need to print something in its own line. So I hope this helps. Practice, and let's move to the next lesson.